It's not every day that we get to hear of a rocket scientist from a township. But Soweto's Jessie Ndaba is one such person. While growing up, her grandmother always encouraged her to search for knowledge beyond her school books. Jessie listened and has propelled herself to heights that once seemed impossible. Let's be real. We love our food and we love it fresh. But quality produce won't be possible without efficient and productive farming. And for the agricultural sector to keep up with our demand, it needs basic but crucial information. Such data comes from above.
As a farmer, if you can use the satellite data to pick up if your crops are having some constraints, because if you look at your crops with your naked eye and you just see green, you think they're doing well, and only to find that they're having a constraint, and using the satellite data, you can pick that up.
That's right, you heard correctly. Farmers need satellite images to monitor their crops. This is where Jessie Ndaba comes in. She is one of the first South African females to tackle the intricacies of rocket science. The company she works for is involved with the space industry around the world.
We started satellite development, assisting mostly developing countries with developing or building satellites. We also assist them with the systems and processing the data that they would get from satellites.
So how did the girl from Soweto get into rocket science? Jessie Ndaba was brought up by her late grandmother, who always believed in the power of curiosity.
My gran encouraged me not to use just a textbook that, you know, your teacher has supplied to you. I would use a number of textbooks. Like for maths, I had a number of textbooks that I was using. For science as well, I had a number of textbooks that I was using.
And it's this push that led to Jessie discovering a rocket engine in one of her many books.
It was all new to me, but it explained how they all work together and all of that. And because I was a teenager, it seemed appealing and so easy.
She may have been a teenager, but Jessie immediately knew she was looking at her future. The problem, though, was that no one in her family, school or neighborhood had traveled this path before.
Where I come from, when I talk about satellites, people think of the satellite dish, the antenna, because they don't know much about space.
It meant Jessie had to work even harder to find information about rockets and space.
I would see her, you know, visiting centers of learning around in here, and usually traveling and befriending people that were actually keen to get more information and knowledge about things and things.
Jessie finished her matric in the late 90s before going to Wits University to study electrical engineering. Her daring attitude and willingness to try something new was about to pay off. While at Wits, she applied and secured a place at the Space Internship Program, a Department of Science and Technology project.
A lot of the interns struggled at first to grasp the concepts of satellite engineering and the aspects peculiar to satellites and orbits and outer space things. But Jessica was a fast learner, so I think she grew a lot.
And this growth secured her a permanent position at this Cape Town-based satellite manufacturer. Now a satellite design engineer, the girl from Soweto had finally achieved her childhood dream. She helped build Sumbandila, a satellite that launched in 2009. After 5 years, she moved to another space consulting company where she's leading projects with her technical expertise.
She's actually in charge of making sure that the whole space contract that's been placed is actually executed properly. So she does a lot of client interaction, contract management with regards to that. And then also on the technical side, she provides insight from her history.
The satellites Jessie helps create capture information that contributes a great deal in town planning, farming, and broadcasting.
We're not just building the satellites because we want to be excited that this is the baby that I've created and this is where it is, it's alive. It doesn't end there, but it's about what can people benefit out of that.
There you have it. South Africa is a country rich with individuals who have amazing stories to tell. People who are setting an example on how change can be achieved. Well, join us again next time to celebrate these stories of courage and triumph. My name is Mphola Gaje. Cheers.